Welcome to Lorain Medina Rural Electric Cooperative's 84th Annual Meeting of the Members. We will begin momentarily.
Good evening. I am John Eaton, President of Lorain Medina Rural Electric Cooperative Board of Trustees. We would like to begin the meeting with the national anthem performed by Annika Campbell.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, we're so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
As President of the Board of Trustees, I call the 84th meeting of Lorain Medina Rural Electric to order. I would now like to introduce Dan Gallatin, LMRE meter technician, to deliver tonight's invocation.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for another wonderful day of life. Thank you for the servicemen and women who support this country. Thank you for the linemen, the management, the board members, as we gather here for this annual meeting to discuss the wonderful things that happened in the co-op world. We thank you for everything that you have done for us. You've given us struggles and you've given us prosperity, and we are here to strive ahead, and we thank you so much for everything you've done for us throughout the year. Amen.
Brenda Wolf, Secretary of the Cooperative, will now submit proof of notice of the meeting.
I present the following. First, a copy of the notice of the meeting dated June 23, 2020, stating the time, place, and purpose of the meeting. Second, an affidavit executed by Jeff McAllister, Managing Editor for Ohio's Electric Cooperative, showing a copy of the notice of the meeting to each member of the cooperative, and a list of the members of the cooperative, and a certificate attesting to the number of members, the number of consumers, and the number of the non-member consumers. After you're registered online, you received a copy of the minutes of the 2019 annual meeting of the members to be considered for your approval. These minutes are also available on the cooperative's website. Thank you.
The Secretary is directed to incorporate the copy of the notice of the meeting together with the affidavit of mailing of the notice in the minute of the cooperative books. Our registration total shows 115 members registered. According to the Code of Regulations of the cooperative, the members attending this duly called meeting constitute a quorum. Consequently, I now declare this annual meeting of members of Lorraine Medina Rural Electric Cooperative Incorporated lawfully and properly convened and ready to proceed for the transaction of the business. It has become customary to waive the reading of the notice of the meeting and the minutes of the last meeting of the members of the cooperative. We will now ask for a motion, second, and vote to waive the reading of the minutes. To participate, please click the chat button on the bottom of your screen and type your full name and township to be recognized. Do I have a motion to waive the reading and approve the minutes of the 2019 annual meeting? Again, if you would like to offer the motion to approve the minutes, please click the chat button and type your full name and township to sponsor this motion. I have a motion from Robert Sturrow of Brighton Township. Do I have a second for this motion to approve the minutes? Please click the chat button and type your full name and township. I have a second from Jackie Johnson from Penfield Township. A poll to vote on the motion will now appear on your screen. Please select yes or no to submit your vote. This poll will end in 5 seconds. According to the poll, the motion carries. I would now like to introduce your current Board of Trustees. I am President John Eaton from Huntington Township, serving District 4 since 1997. Vice President and District 1 Trustee Gary Rowland from Brighton Township, serving since 1978. Secretary Brenda Wolf of Sullivan Township, serving District 7 since 2015. Treasurer Keith Lowe from Homerville is District 8, serving since 1997. Trustee Jim McConnell of Pittsfield Township, serving District 2 since 1997. District 3 Trustee Kathleen Norton Fox of Grafton, serving since 2016. Trustee Judy Pickworth of LaGrange, serving District 5 since 2006. Trustee Joe Swinkle of Litchfield, serving District 6 since 2018. And Trustee Dick Indo of Harrisville Township, serving District 9 since 2000. These are your trustees. I would now like to introduce Dave Hardwood, LMRE's legal counsel, for the election and voting results.
In this year's election, the membership elected 3 trustees to the board, 1 each from Districts 1, 4, and 7, and also considered an amendment to the Code of Regulations proposed by the board. And again this year, Co-op Ballot of Dublin, Ohio, conducted our election. Co-op Ballot provided each of the members with a ballot that first identified a proposed language change to Article 2, Section 7A of the Code of Regulations, which, if passed by the membership, would eliminate the need to cast ballots in an uncontested trustee election. The purpose of the amendment is to save the cooperative the expense of conducting an election when there is nothing to be decided and there's only one possible outcome. Secondly, the ballot also identified each of the candidates for trustee and provided brief biographies of them. Only 3 candidates filed petitions this year, so all 3 trustee races were in fact uncontested. Gary Rowland filed a petition in District 1, John Eaton in District 4, and Brenda Wolf in District 7. Candidates for trustee are nominated by the petition process. Any member who wishes to run for trustee from the district in which he or she resides files a petition signed by at least 25 members of the cooperative who also reside in that district. If 2 or fewer petitions are filed by qualified candidates in a district, then each is declared a candidate and stands for election before the membership. If more than 2 petitions are filed in a district, then a runoff election is held by mail within that district, and the 2 individuals receiving the highest number of votes are then declared the 2 official candidates who stand for election. Now, along with the ballot, Co-op ballot provided the members with instructions on how the members should cast their votes. Voting commenced on Wednesday, June 17th, and ballots had to be received by Friday, July 10th at 11:59 a.m. in order to be counted. When elections are conducted by mail and electronically, no voting takes place at the meeting, and instead only the results are announced. Co-op ballot yesterday has certified to the cooperative's election committee that there were 1,213 ballots cast in this year's election. 980 of those were cast by mail, and 233 of those were cast electronically. 1,047 votes were cast on the proposed code amendment, 974 in favor of the amendment and 73 against, and therefore the amendment to the Code of Regulations has passed. Co-op ballot has also certified that Gary Rolland received 1,077 votes for trustee from District 1, John Eaton 1,045 votes for trustee from District 4, and Brenda Wolf 1,016 votes for trustee from District 7. Each has been elected to new 3-year terms on the Board of Trustees. Congratulations to John, Gary, and Brenda, and a special thanks to each of our members who voted in this year's election.
I'd like to start by thanking all of you for joining us today for the 84th annual meeting of Lorraine Medina Rural Electric Cooperative, especially with the necessary safety changes that needed to be made because of COVID-19. It's hard to talk about the last year without first addressing the past few months. The pandemic brought new challenges to not only you, our members, but to the co-op as well. One of the major decisions the board made during this time was to return the 2020 capital credits to members early, moving the distribution up to May rather than waiting until December. We understand the financial burden COVID-19 and the shutdown placed on many of our businesses and members, so we wanted to ensure we were doing something to help where we could. We are proud to announce this year's capital credit return was $2.2 million, a record for the co-op at a much needed time. However, helping our members isn't our only priority during these tough and unusual times. We also keep a focus on programs like the LMRE People Fund, which was founded to allow you, the member, an opportunity to help your community. Created in 1999, the People Fund gives our members and communities the extra helping hand we all sometimes need. Thanks to the important work and dedication of our 9 volunteer People Fund board members, 29 grants totaling $83,440 went to deserving organizations in our community. The pennies rounded up on your bill can truly make a big difference in our communities, and I thank everyone who participates each month. I want to take a moment to recognize the LMRE members who serve on the People Fund board and devote their time to this worthy cause. Jim Miller, President, District 8. Ken Dietrich, Vice President, District 3. Janice Brill, Secretary, District 2. Pam Menzel, Treasurer, District 1. Jackie Johnson, District 4. Pat Hamker, District 5, Pat Posada, District 6, Christy Edwards, District 7, and Rick Dumford, District 9. As cooperative members, we also have an obligation to participate on a national platform, encouraging legislators to advocate for topics in our best interest. We can do this through our participation in ACRE, the Action Committee for Rural Electrification, which is a federal political action committee of the National Rural Electric Cooperative Association. ACRE gives you and other members the opportunity to raise your voices on behalf of the cooperative to state and federal government officials who make decisions that affect our way of life. To join it is only $25 a year, or $2.08 added to your electric bill each month. The money directly supports the candidates or incumbents who will speak for and protect the interests of electric co-ops. I encourage all members to consider adding their voice to this worthy effort. Please call the cooperative for details on how to sign up. And thank you to all our members who already participate in ACRE to help advocate for the best interest of electric co-ops. One of the benefits of being a member of a cooperative like LMRE is your access to energy professionals. This is especially important when it comes to efficiency decisions around your home or business. Lately, solar has been a huge topic of discussion, and we encourage all members to make LMRE your first call when considering the installation of any panels at your home. We can give you all of the information regarding the pros and cons of solar, how your panels would work with the co-op's distribution grid and net metering policy, and if there are cheaper, simpler adjustments you can make to your home to reduce your electric bill. Our goal is to always make sure you, as members, have the most accurate and helpful information when it comes to your electricity. We want to make sure that you know you always have an energy partner in your cooperative. Finally, 2019 was the co-op's first full year under General Manager Ed Van Hoos, and we didn't make it easy on him. Right away, Ed worked on progressing major projects such as new cooperative offices and the potential for rural broadband. He also managed the reorganization of several positions to improve efficiencies and provide even better services to you, our members, and planned for several retirements of longtime employees on top of day-to-day operation, a demanding task on its own. But Ed rose to the occasion, and we've seen tremendous strides being taken to continually improve. I also want to recognize the employees at LMRE because a leader is only as effective as the people he inspires. They have proven their dedication to the co-op and its members time and time again, and they have also proven their dedication to each other. Providing a culture of safety in the workplace is the main priority of the board, and the staff works every day to ensure that culture is both upheld and improved upon. Across all departments, employees hold one another accountable for a broad spectrum of safety issues. We are proud of the safety record of the cooperative has built over time, and we have charged everyone involved to maintain that record going forward. Thank you again for joining us for this year's annual meeting and working with us as we utilize a new way of bringing this information to you in such an unprecedented time. Your participation in the governance of Lorraine Medina Rural Electric, your cooperative, is a huge part of what sets electric co-ops apart in the industry. On behalf of my fellow board members and the employees of LMRE, it is an honor and a privilege to continue to serve you for another year.
Your cooperative community stretches far beyond your local borders. Across the state, across the country, and around the world. To become a powerful network that accomplishes great things by working together. The nationwide electric cooperative network did just that in 2019, when consumer members and employees across the country rallied their lawmakers in Washington to achieve 3 big legislative wins that save money for consumers and support their communities. Thanks to a months-long grassroots movement with support from every Ohio legislator, Congress passed its year-end spending bill with a provision that protects electric co-ops from losing their tax-exempt status when they accept government grant money, even for disaster recovery or broadband internet expansion. It was an unintended consequence of the 2017 tax law that co-op advocates spent countless hours working to fix. 2 more fixes were included in that year-end spending bill that help your cooperative compete for high-quality employees and save money. The first eliminated a proposed tax on healthcare benefits, and the second reduced the cost of insurance your cooperative pays to protect employee pension benefits. In Ohio, your co-op's representatives protected consumer members from paying fees imposed by House Bill 6, which affected customers of other types of electric utilities. Affordability is possible because we work together as a co-op network to make sound financial decisions that help keep your power generation costs down, even as we invest in better, more reliable transmission lines that will improve your service for the long run. Your power generation rates have been stable for 8 years, and that stability will continue in the foreseeable future. Our strength in numbers enhances the power of the cooperative network. It all comes down to community. In 2019, Ohio electric cooperatives returned more than $39 million to their consumers. Co-op consumers also gave $1.7 million to nonprofits, churches, fire and police organizations, and individuals through their electric bill roundup programs. Co-ops and their consumers take care of their neighbors, including those around the globe. The power of our co-op network extends to Guatemala, where Ohio co-op linemen traveled in March 2020 to bring electricity to people who have never had it before, the 3rd trip they've taken since 2016. The power of the co-op network was strong in 2019. We look forward to working with you to accomplish even more in 2020.
Now I would like to introduce our General Manager, Edward Van Hoos.
Thank you, John. At this time, we would like to recognize our 2019 Children of Members Scholarship winners. First, Lillian Dowdell, a Norwalk St. Paul graduate, and Nicholas Leposki, a Wellington High School graduate, earned our $3,000 scholarships. And Lillian also went on to earn an additional $1,400 scholarship from our statewide association. Jacob Yarish of Mapleton High School and Alexis Stamer of Wellington High earned the cooperative's $2,000 scholarships. And new this year, we introduced a trade scholarship for graduating high school seniors planning to further their education at a vocational school or trade college. Nicholas Martinelli of Wellington High School was the first to receive the $500 scholarship. We would like to encourage all graduating seniors who are children of Lorraine Medina members to apply for these scholarships. They are competitive, but they also provide great opportunities for graduating seniors to learn about interviewing and presenting themselves professionally. Thank you guys for coming to the meeting tonight. I know it's a little different format, and really appreciate you taking time out of your evening to join us here at the meeting. You know, it's always good to get everybody together and do the business of the cooperative, but also to kind of celebrate the wins we've had last year and talk about what we're going to be doing in the future. Before I begin, I just want to thank the board for the opportunity to serve in the role that I do with the cooperatives. I want to thank all the employees of the cooperative. Without them, we just would not be able to do the things that we do and be able to provide the level of service that we do. I want to make sure that I thank my family, my wife, Melissa, my children, Eddie, Evan, Ariana, and Kinsey for supporting me and being there for me throughout this past year with my role at the co-op. Again, without them supporting me on the personal side, the professional side would not be what it is. And I just want to thank the membership as well. All of you in attendance today and all of you out there who watch this later, thank you for being a part of such a great organization as LMRE. I really appreciate the opportunity, as I've said, to be able to serve in the role that I do in a rural area and to do what we can here at LMRE to provide the highest level of service to you guys. With that, I'd like to talk just about a few items. So I'm not going to be long, and we have a question and answer period after this. So you guys have questions, I want to take an opportunity to answer those. First and foremost, the thing on everybody's mind right now and what's impacting our society is coronavirus, COVID-19, and what we have been doing here at LMRE in order to react to that, and then also be proactive in our approach to try and keep not only our employees safe, but also our membership. So unfortunately, we've had to take some pretty drastic measures. We would normally be performing in-home visits, and right now those are on hold. That's a measure taken to not only protect our employees, but again, protect you. We don't want to take something from one household to the other. So our lobbies are closed. We're asking people to perform most of their business online or to use our Smart Hub app in order to be able to conduct business with the cooperative. Everybody's available by email, by phone. We've instituted some work at home procedures. We've looked at technological solutions to just about anything we can do. And through all of this, our employees have remained steadfast in their resolve to provide that level of service that you guys have come to expect. And I just want to reassure you that as we look to the future, that is our mission. We are here to serve you. We are here to try to be reactive and to try and make sure that you have everything you need from your cooperative. We recognize that you own the cooperative and that everything we do should be centered around that. I know many of you have looked at what has been put in place for broadband. We've completed a survey just recently, and we're looking at processes both past, present, and future, and what that impact could be on the cooperative should we decide to go forward with a broadband offering. Your board takes this very seriously. It stems from a call to action from you, the members, that the level of services that are available to you just don't meet what you're looking for and aren't future-proof. So with that in mind, we have looked at a way to collaborate with other cooperatives. Now, I know I'd like to give you a lot more information tonight on broadband, but I'm kind of limited in what I can say, and there's a really good reason for that. The federal government, through the FCC, has put together something called the Rural Digital Opportunity Fund, and that program, or RDOF for short, is designed to help cooperatives or other entities in rural areas with broadband programs. Because Lorraine Medina has entered into that process, we are now entering what's called the quiet period from the FCC. And that begins tonight, right at 12:01 when it becomes July 15th. So for that reason, I'm going to be unable to answer quite a few questions because if I give you real specifics, I would be breaking the rules of that particular auction. So what I can say is this: we have entered the auction. We are looking for that type of assistance, but I can't give you real specifics beyond that until after that process is done. I wish I could. You can rest assured, though, that throughout the rest of our publications, as we are allowed to, and as those rules loosen up and things move ahead, we will be communicating with you what's going on with regards to broadband. The board has heard you. I have heard you. We know that this is a need for you, and we are taking as appropriate action as we can. There's no promises as we move ahead, but we are taking those actions that we can in order to try and help resolve the lack of affordable, high-speed broadband within the service territory. Okay, switching topics a little bit. As you've seen in our recent publications, even stretching back to last year, my first annual meeting with LMRE, there was a lot of discussion around the headquarters. Our current headquarters is from 1955, and it's in need of a lot of repair. On my second day here, I attended a meeting with some contractors that were looking at either performing those repairs or making a recommendation to replace the building. And it was determined that it would be inefficient and really just not financially responsible to repair such an aging facility. To that end, the board moved to look at putting a new facility in place. We are currently in the process on that. We are working right now on the plans and finalizing them. We still hope to break ground this year. The new facility will be located in Spencer, which is just a few miles away from where we're at right now. And we really are hopeful that despite all the delays due to the coronavirus, especially with some of the public permitting that was required and some of the meetings that had to be delayed because of that, that we'll be able to still move ahead. And we're shooting for a potential, don't hold me to this, but a potential of sometime late in 2021 or early 2022 of completing that project. But again, it's construction. We all know what construction projects can bring. There's a lot of unknowns, and while it's undergoing, we have to be patient and hope that things keep on schedule. With the added impact of the coronavirus causing more complications, the schedule is very much in flux. But we really hope that as we move ahead throughout this next year, that you will start to see more development, and our communications team will work hard to make sure that you get really good photos and narratives of what's going on as that particular installation proceeds. Last topic I want to talk to you about is renewable energy. And in particular, I want to spend a moment with you on solar. So, there are some companies within our service territory that are approaching members, and many times the story that they're giving you is not the whole story. And in fact, some of it doesn't paint us in the most popular light. It tends to skew the picture a little bit. Let me remind you of what I said earlier. We exist to service you. You own this company. So we're a not-for-profit. That's our model. It allows us to provide a balanced view of your potential for any solar installation. So that's really important. We don't have any kind of negative view of you wanting to get involved in a renewable energy resource of any kind. In fact, it's the exact opposite. We have put in our own solar installation. There's a solar field located right now at LMRE's headquarters, and we are looking at expanding that with the hopefully being able to offer more of that in 2021. Maybe. It takes a while again with construction. So much like the building project, we have to deal with those types of issues. But we have a lot of resources available to you. So the message I want to leave you with is this. If you have a high pressure salesman in your home, whether he's selling a vacuum cleaner or a solar panel, why don't you just take a moment and call us and let us help you get the proper information before you make that very, very expensive investment. It may be that after you get the forecasts that we provide you, which are much more accurate, that it does make sense for you to move ahead. It may also be that you find out that what you're being presented is less than true. And so we want an opportunity to provide that level of service to you. With that, I want to let you guys just know that I wish you all a very, very healthy rest of your year. 2020 has certainly been interesting so far. And hopefully we can round the corner on this at some time soon and start to see things return to a little bit more normal. I know we have some questions and answers, and I'm going to have Terry Lease bring it up here to me, and we can read through it and see. Thank you. All right, so there are a ton of questions about broadband service, and that is to be expected. Completely understand there. Unfortunately, like I said earlier, we are now entering the quiet period from the FCC. So I'm really limited in what I can tell you. Just to reiterate, the board has heard you. We know there's a need, and we are taking appropriate action to try and fulfill that need. But it's very difficult for me to say anything beyond that. I can't get into specifics until after the quiet period is done. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to let it go at that. But I want to, again, reassure you, you will see more information as we are permitted to share it, okay? Next question. What efforts have been made or are being planned to utilize sustainable energy sources? As I mentioned earlier, we have an Our Solar project, which members can sign up to participate in. That got fully subscribed within a 24-hour period. We recently had some more panelists become available, and within 4 hours, they were fully subscribed too. So that tells me there's a huge need for you guys out there that you want to see that happen. With that in mind, the cooperative is looking at expanding that offering. And so I would anticipate you should see something coming pretty soon about an additional offering there on renewable sources. Next is, what is the status and outcome of the recent survey regarding LMRE facilitated broadband internet service? So this is slightly different, right, than when are we going to be providing it? You're asking about the survey. I'm going to have to be really careful in what I say because I don't want to violate any rules here by the FCC. But let me just say this. There was an overwhelming majority from the membership stating that you want us to enter this arena. We take that very seriously. I personally take that very seriously, and the board does. It speaks directly to our member-driven mission and our member-driven business model. So again, we have submitted the short form for the FCC RDOF auction, and we are going to proceed under their rules. I'll tell you more later what I'm allowed to. Any other questions, Terry, that have come in since?
How long is the quiet period?
You know, I think the quiet period will go until the auction end, and so it's probably October. And if you couldn't hear her, she said, how long is the quiet period? So more than likely till October. Just to be safe, we will probably make sure that they're absolutely done first. I don't want the government to change their mind on something and then we end up having an issue of some kind. So we're going to be very cautious because we don't want to risk our participation there. Anything else? Okay, great. Well, again, thank you so much for attending tonight. You're going to see a survey come out about this meeting. We want to hear your viewpoint. We want to know, what did you like? What did you dislike? We know there was some static early on, and we're working on what it's going to take to correct that should we have to do that in the future. But just overall, we want to hear your opinion about this meeting, this style of meeting, and you know what we should do going forward. So look for that survey, and I would really encourage you to exercise your member rights to what you want to see moving ahead by filling it out and sending it in. The board will review the results of it, and that's going to inform what we do moving ahead. With that, thank you so much, and have a good night. John?
Thank you, Ed. Do we have any unfinished business to come before the membership? Hearing none, do we have any new business to come before the membership? In that case, I declare the meeting adjourned. Thank you for attending this year's annual meeting. Stay healthy and safe, and we hope to see you all soon.